Philippines with the truth. I hope you like that little intro. But wait, before we get started, how's it going? The best part of waking up is tangerine in your cup. That's how you start a morning. Okay, and also it's my true serum, the ripple of the Philippines. Anyway, and a little music. Let's hit a little music. Okay, I hope you like that little intro. You know, my being so excited. You know, I feel I have a lot to celebrate today. One being, one main reason is because I got my first check from YouTube. And I bet none of you can guess how much it was. It was $8 and change. But you see, the good thing about it is that I'm a believer now. I'm a believer that you can make money off of YouTube now. So you know what that means? God dang it, make more videos. But you know it's funny because there's a big gap from the last video because I'm psychologically preparing myself for my video about sex and the Filipino girls. See, there's a whole lot of preparation I got to prepare you for before I start putting it out. Because, like for instance, you know, if you haven't noticed, I've really tried to avoid profanity, you know, or vulgar things in my YouTube channel. You know, I don't say motherfucker, I say motherflacker. You know, I don't say. I explain it to you. Let me explain it to you. But I don't use vulgarity in my videos. You know, and that's because there's no need. You know, there are other terminologies that you can use other than the words that we have come familiar with as vulgarity. Like for instance, why say bitches when you can say peaches? You know, come here, peach. Look at those peaches. You know what I'm saying? You know, peaches is a lot more flattering than bitches. You know, it could be the same thing. You ugly peach, you ugly bitch. Stop that bitch. Stop that peach. You know, and peach is something that is beautiful, luxurious, juicy. You know, and that's what women are. I don't refer to them as bitches. So I refer to them as peaches. And I think that's a lot more flattering. And I think if more of us would use words like peaches instead of bitches, the world could be a better place. Probably avoid a lot of chicken head fights. Or like nigger, using the N word, nigger, it means the same thing. But you see, I don't like using the word nigger. Never have, never will. I use trigger. Come here, trigger. Hey, stop that trigger. Hey, trigger, you ain't no but a trigger. You know what I'm saying? A trigger is something that is a mechanism that is used to set off an explosion that that can cause damage. So let me ask you something. Would you rather be a nigger or would you rather be a trigger? Huh? Hey, trigger. Hey, that's my trigger. Come here, trigger. Like this. So you see, we don't have to use those words when we can substitute them. Now, a couple of examples I've given you, I have passed them on to organizations and in great detail about, and even artists, can sing that song. I don't know any words, any songs that have the word in it, but you can say trigger instead of nigger. And it'd be just as impacting, can be just as endearing, can be just as impacting as the actual word. But you have to choose to make the conscious decision not to use it. Now, when I pass this example on, of course, I had my magazine. I wrote an article about it that we need to begin to change, how we say things, or how we describe things. Like I don't say pussy. You mean that girl got pussy? Look at the JJ. I don't say prostitute. I say street entertainer. I don't say when I was on drugs. I say when I was moving too fast. I don't say I was a drug dealer. I say I was a pharmacist. What else can I change? What I have changed. So this way you understand what it is I'm saying when I start talking about these things. Hey, I don't say blow jobs. I say headshots. I love to get a headshot with that girl. See, and these are terminologies. That I think would be a lot more receptive and a lot more non-judgmental of the person who's saying them, because you are what you eat and you are what you say. So why don't we try to change that? Now, a couple of things I want to bring you up to date on before I go into the video. Now, this video here, it's more or less about some past videos, because like I told you, I had downloaded, I had some drives. Oh, Jerry. When I get to talking too fast, I say the name Jerry 3 times. I say Jerry because it reminds me of Jerry Pittman. Jerry Pittman, who was the first black limousine owner in Los Angeles. And he once told me that that I spoke too fast. So whenever I find myself speaking too fast, I say the name Jerry 3 times. He's also, until I calm down, he's also married to Miss Colomina Pittman, who is the founder of the Rosebud Cancer Society in Los Angeles. It takes place every year to celebrate breast cancer. The organization was founded after her mother. Colomina is a writer, author, radio host. She's an extraordinaire. And you can also, I'll put the link up right here where you can catch her on her station and listen to her. She has some of the greats who she's interviewing that she's just fantastic. She also was Bonnie Hilton Sweeney's left hand. I'm watching Helen, because Helen's gingerly walking around the tripod, and I'm just waiting for like this, but it didn't happen. So God is good. So anyway, Bonnie, who founded the Pre-Grammy Party, and we know just heaven up above, she's teaching people how to network. We love you, Bonnie, and we know you love this more. She should be in the history books. But anyway, so I say that to keep talking too fast. Now, there are a couple of things I want to bring you up to date with. Is like, number one, I did a story about a guy who came to the Philippines, and a girl he was given her $500 a month for over a year, and finally surprised her and came. You saw the video, and come to find out that she had actually was, she was scamming him. When he showed up at the door, because he said, "I'm gonna surprise you and come." And how we always say, "Yeah, okay, come, I can't wait till you get here." Well, he got there, and she said, "Get out, you can't come here, go." She had a boyfriend, the house he was renting for, so there was a lot. He ended up like sitting by the side of the road, virtually. And some friend of mine's who owned a store, her sister heard about it, and she took him in. Now, and he was like living in a lap of luxury, because he had like four women in the house who were kind of like helping him. Now, during this time, he couldn't get money from the bank because for some reason or another, his account was frozen. And he come to my house and try to access it on the internet, and they wouldn't let him have access to it. So he didn't know what to do. So he was out of money. He had no money, no nothing. Had no means to get a means to do anything. So anyway, they helped him. And he's trying to get a hold of his sister and can never get a hold of his sister, because he couldn't find out, what was going on. But in the meantime, he bought a scooter. And not being familiar with shit that can pop up on the roads in the Philippines, he ran over a dead dog and ended up hurting himself and was laid up for a while. And so they nursed him back down. So he's still in a predicament, whereas that he cannot get any funds. He's got money. You can see he's got money. His county's got money. He's he gets direct deposit. Like this, you can see it, but he can't get access to it. So he went to Cebu, and they told me he had to go to Manila, and he's trying to access his money, and he was just just unable to. So he got better and started helping up around the house and started doing things. This is why I said God is always good. This lady boy, came to him and said, here, talk to your sister. And he was shocked because he had his sister on his phone, on she. We call them he-she's in the United States, on he-she phone. And she was just as surprised. She said, "Oh, tomorrow I was going to go and file you as missing." Like this. I mean, she was very concerned, but they didn't have no communication on Facebook. And it turned out that this she was a friend of hers from years ago. From a closed account that he happened to tap into and saw that she was trying to contact everybody in her Facebook to try to find out where he was or if anybody knew him. And when she saw him, saw her, he gave him the phone, and they were able to talk, and was able to free up his account. And so now he's he's getting married. What I'm saying? Not to that girl who dusted him, but one of the women who was taking care of him. And we want to give a big shout out to Jim, or Mike. I'm not Michael James or James Michael. A shout out to him for him, picking himself up by literally picking himself up by the bootstraps and continue on. And talking about how God was good. I have this new vehicle that I'm using, and my process, and when I pull up the tennis, is always to lock it, roll the windows up, put the key in my bag. And this one little boy who wants my bag because he wants to use my phone, he come, yeah, Alex, and gets my bag, and I let him take it. And I know my key's inside, so I locked the door. So I got out and I locked the door, and we went and we played tennis, and then I was looking for my keys. I can't find my keys, and so and my bag is not my bag, and so I think maybe because of the distraction that him at my window, that I automatically assumed I already put my key in there, but the key was inside the ignition. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm a long way from a long way. How am I going to get this key? And, like this, and you're pondering like how this is going to happen. And this is why I say God is so good. Because you know what? The passenger side window, they're electric. I did not roll up all the way. I left a gap in it about that much. And it was enough for my instructor, Carmelo, to put a stick in there, maneuver it, pull the key out of the ignition, and I said, wow, how good is God? But there you go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause right here, and I'm going to put this little short clip in here before I go on, but check this out and see if you agree with this. Remember, you're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. And I will be right back. The main reason why I wanted to talk to you is because often the time you hear, I was listening to the news one time, and it was this corporation said that they weren't going to give any advances or any promotions this year because the company wanted to save so many millions of dollars. So I started thinking, I said, wow, that's pretty cool. But what are they going to do with those $1 million? Well, I doubt those millions of dollars ever materialized. I think it was just, I don't know. They just delayed giving bonuses and advances that year. So I started thinking about when we go to the supermarket and everything, we have a thing where with savings. On each thing, you're saving 10 cents. You're saving 25 cents. You're saving $1 something. And then when you get to the cash register, it is rung up, and then it says that you have saved $25 or $12. And I start thinking, well, where is that? We don't really actually see it. So what I have decided to do is that I have decided to, give me a moment here. I have decided that each time I go to the supermarket, let me get them. Yeah, this is what I have decided to do. Is that each time I go to the supermarket and they tell me that on my receipt it has a savings, what I do is I take that amount of savings and I put it inside its receipt, and I write on it the date and the amount inside here. And what I have accumulated over the short time here, is like my own little treasure, my own savings, my own mine, and it already came in handy once when I ordered pizza, or Chinese food. I didn't have enough, so where did I go? I went to the money that I've saved, and I took from it. So my suggestion to you out there, that if you're able to, because granted we're all not able to, because God knows I've been in a position where I wouldn't have been able to save anything, but to take the money you save and actually put it away. This one here is for $1.90. This one here is for $1.58. This one here is for $6. Let me see. This one here is $12. This one here was $10. So you see, the idea is to save these, and over a period of time. The reason I'm looking, because I know I got a bigger one in there somewhere. So please, or try this. Try saving your savings actually by saving it, and see what you accumulate. Okay, so that's just about it. Okay, I hope some of you will start using that procedure as far as savings, because it worked out good for me. It was nice. It was also fun too. You know what I'm saying? Actually, to get to see your savings and have your savings and utilize your savings when you're in need. Now, one thing I want to talk to you about is that in my award show, the first award I gave to was for a YouTuber named Hassan Campbell. Who really speaks out about the violence, the gangs, and all that stuff, and the crime, and people who perpetrate frauds by making money off of other people's situation. So he's been a very vocal voice about. In fact, the guy who opened fire in the New York City subway. When he went through his YouTube, he had a YouTube video on there predicting that Hassan Campbell was going to be murdered by a gang violence. I say that just to mention how prevalent he is. The mayor even spoke about him when the mayor had a news conference. Spoke about him. Well, if you happen to be following him, you'll see that currently he's in a I don't want to say a beef, but yeah, I guess he's in beef with a couple other people, and a lot of people think that it's going to escalate to him being killed, or something's going to happen to him. He pointed out that this one guy called Whack 100 had been extorting, people. He extorted Kim Kardashian and Kanye, allegedly. He extorted De La Hoya, the boxer, allegedly, and he put out a tape about Nipsey Hussle, or not a tape, but Nipsey Hussle was another one of the positive brothers who were trying to do something for the community. You see, it's interesting when You know, when people are trying to make a difference, I don't care. You go to Martin Luther King, you go to Marcus Garvey. I mean, not Marcus Garvey. You go to Malcolm X, and you go down the line. Uh, 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 Edgar Cleave, I can't remember his name. You go down the line of people who trying to make a difference in the community and was stopped, shot, killed. And because there's a force out there that does not want people to get along. They make money in fitna. Fitna is like an empowerment. Who do you think make it's this guy Whack 100? He said he sells guns to the gangs. I sell guns to the Crips on this side. I sell guns to the Crips on this side, and I sell it to them. And he says they could kill each other. I don't care. Which was very disheartening and something that that got a lot of people pissed off. Of how he spoke nonchalantly about how he been squeezing people. When rappers come from New York, go to LA, they have to check in. Check in means that they have to see him and they have to pay him money for being in LA. And one rapper called I can't remember the name. He didn't, and he never made it back. They killed him. So anyway, there's a beef going on between there. So for nothing, if you support the brother, catch up on the videos, and it's good to know that there's a voice out there who is trying to make a difference. That's why I say it's more easier to spread hate than it is to spread love. So I say, what else I want to talk to you about before I go into this next video? Okay, I'm going to go and drop this next video here. This next video I'm going to drop in here is one of me promoting my Help Make a Dream Come True Award program. Now, my Help Make a Dream Come True, Dreams are Nothing More Than Plans Awaiting Action. I'm sorry. That's the name of the program, Dreams are Nothing More Than Plans Awaiting Action, where I am a motivational speaker and I speak to people about just that. So school is getting ready to start up again in June, and I want you to know that if you are a school or organization here in the Philippines, I'll be more than happy to come and bring my program to you. Of course, we come and we normally make a donation to the school, and so it's not that you have to pay the cost. We foot the bill. So this is one of my times speaking in New York at one of the radio stations promotional platforms, and they asked me to speak. So check this out. You're watching Gerard Black in the Philippines with your truth. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, share, and like.
To the DJ. I ever saw anybody DJ while eating French fries and still doing his thing. So the brother was really good. And that first girl who performed, I don't know her name, stand up. So where is she? Okay, this lady needs a lot of props. First of all, I see she did the background, she did the chorus, she did the lead, and she got rhythm. So she really got it all going on and everything. Hi, my name is Gerard. I'm editor-in-chief of S.G.I.B magazine and owner of P.B.G's Productions, which is Photos by Gerard. Chances are each and every one of you have seen my work. I've been a freelance publicity photographer for over 25 years. I've been in Jet, Evening, Newsday, all over the place. So there's been a lot of places where my work has been shown. Before I got to photography, I'm going to try to give you a brief background. Let me slow down because I get very hyper, So let me try to slow down a little bit. I want to tell you how I got to this business because I also promote a program that calls Dreams and Nothing More Than Plans Awaiting Action. And what that simply is that whatever it is that you want to be in life, which is what you're all here about, is trying to move forward to something else, to something that what you want to do in life. When I first started out, I started off doing little jobs and what have you. I started working on assembly line, working on cars, assembly line working for automobiles. And I decided that wasn't what I wanted to do in life. I figured I wanted to do something else in life. So it's easy to know what it is that we don't want to do in life. It's making the choices of what it is that we do want to do in life. And that's where the problem comes in. So I decided I wanted to be in the entertainment business. But I had one or a few big major problems. I couldn't sing, dance, act, and tell jokes, all the qualifications of what it takes to be in the entertainment business. So I sat down and I thought about another vehicle to get me in the entertainment business, and that was photography. So I decided to learn photography. You know, I also drove a New York City cab. When I drove that cab and I was passing all these movie sets, after I dropped my passengers off, I would go back and I'd take pictures of Richard Burton, Sylvester Stallone, and my work started appearing in newspapers. When I saw my first publication in newspapers, I said, oh man, this is what I want to do in life. And so I kept on, and I ended up in LA, and still pursuing my goal and everything. And when I got to LA, I latched on to a couple of publicists, and they sent me to all the parties of all the celebrities. And here I am, taking pictures of some of the people who I saw coming up on TV. And here's so-and-so, and taking pictures of so-and-so and so-and-so. Man, it was a dream come true. But there was one thing that they never prepared me for. They never prepared me for the drugs that was involved in that industry. And you know, unfortunately, my money wasn't as long as theirs. So that means I was into the street a lot faster than a lot of those people who were out there. And I was lost in the fog of addiction. I was lost in the fog of addiction for about 15 years, man. I lost my family twice. I remember one time when I had a gun put in my mouth, and someone told me to run off the neighborhood. I said, no. I said, shoot me. Why? Because it was anything rather than going home and telling the mother of my kids that I spent that rent money again. So it eventually led to jails, and then I ended up doing prison, and I got out and everything, and I turned my life around. You know, I turned my life around, and I didn't look back. I mean, today, you know, I'm receiving citations, and I'm doing things, I'm giving back, because it's about giving back today. It's about giving back to you, because it's you who's going to take care of me. You see, and I take care of you by giving you something today. What if I can to lift you up? Because that's what it's about. It's about never disrespecting the elderly and always giving to help each other. The most valuable thing I have on me today is not money, it's not any of those things, is this letter. It's this letter here that's sealed. It's a letter that I wrote to myself the last day when I was in Queensboro, when I was coming down from upstate. And I sat on the edge of my bunk, and I wrote about all the things in prison that I didn't like. All the things in prison that I'm destined to forget. And I decided that I'll mail this letter to myself and I'll keep it sealed. And if ever I find myself doing something that's going to lead me back into being incarcerated, I should open up this letter. Because in this letter, it's going to tell me about those wheels. It's going to tell me about count. It's going to tell me about the violence I saw. It's going to tell me about living my life with someone telling me every waking moment of what it is that I need to do. You know, the hardship on the families that I place on my families, you know, making collect phone calls, etc. You know, and I'm not here to preach because this is all about a good thing. But the point of the matter is that no matter what you want to do in life, no matter what it is you want to do in life, you can. There's a method of sitting down and looking at it. Dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Can everybody say it one time? Dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. I thought you were terrific, correct. Okay, so other than that, I'm going to turn it back over, listen back, and let's let the show begin. Thanks a lot for having me, all right?
Okay, I hope you enjoy that. You know, it's speaking of girls, you know, speaking of people, let's talk about people. You know, I have been without. I've been in situations where, you know, I was homeless. I slept underneath trucks, big trucks, on a bar that was underneath the truck. You know, I slept there. You know, I remember having one shoe that had the sole off of it, and every time I walked, it flopped. And everybody knew I was coming because, oh, here come G, flopping like this. And I remember walking across a set of railroad tracks, and I looked down the track, and I saw a pair of sneakers there. I mean, actually, a pair of sneakers. And I walked, and I put the sneakers, and I put them on, and they fit. And all I could say was, thank you, Jesus. All I could say is, thank you, Jesus. So, you know, I remember when there was times when I was a pharmacist, and I didn't want to spend the money that I needed to re-up on my product. That another player said, look, we went to breakfast, and I said, look, man, I can't buy nothing. I need this to, to replenish my stock. And so he says to me, he says, if you do not take care of your body, if you do not take care of your temple, he says, it's not going to do any good. He said, you never deprive yourself of what you need. And food and nourishment you will always need. And that always stuck with me. See, I had a lot of jewels dropped on me while I was in that game, And so anyway, the point I'm making is that, I've been in the situation. I remember walking down the street, and I think I'm super cool after being up like 4 or 5 days. I'm like, woo, yeah, look at me, I'm super cool. And I remember coming out in daylight and walking and seeing these two girls, and they go, ew. It blew me away. I never had anyone look at me and go, ew. I say that because I know the feeling. I know the feeling when society shuns you because of what you look like, and probably because of how you smell, So anyway, I vow never to be that type of person, to always, take people for who they are, regardless. Always make them feel loved. That's what I mean when I say I will always love you more, because I will always make you feel loved. Person once told me, said, Gerard, you give the best hugs. Yes, because I hug you like Tupac say, I hold you and I'll never let you go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how I feel. That's how you embrace someone. Even men too. I hold them and what's up, brother? Because I hold them like I'll never let them go. And so there are girls out there that when they see me, it's like, Gerard, or Onyx, or hey, and they want that hug because of what they're going through. Sometimes what they're going through is pretty bad. It's obvious it's pretty bad, but sometimes you just want to be made to feel human. And you can't get that from everybody, especially in the world you're living in. So being someone that's able to love you, that's called loving unconditionally. It's a rare commodity, rare treat. And that's how I like to feel I do. I feel I love people unconditionally, regardless of who you are, regardless of your circumstances, regardless of what you did, regardless of what you're going to do. Like yesterday, we were sitting and this girl came over, and you could tell she's been out about, I don't know, God knows how long. Nothing she had on her fit. Everything was in black. She couldn't talk because her voice was so. I like to think it was so burnt from getting high, because when you smoke that lighter, the frames and all that stuff gets in your throat, and your voice. How come your voice like that? That's because I sing. Please, and it was hard to understand it, but I know she wanted money, and that's something that I'm not going to give you. You want to eat? Yes. We'll buy you food. And so, Mia took her over and bought her some, I took her first to buy hamburgers. No, I need rice. I said, yes, you need rice, little girl. I need rice. I said, okay, if rice is what you need, Superwoman, I'll give you rice. So Mia took her and bought her a nice meal and all that stuff like that. And it's about, like I said, everybody has a story to tell. But not everybody can look beyond that story and see a human being behind who needs love. Who needs love. So, anyway, I forgot what video it was about posting, but I'll tell you what. In lieu of Mom making money, yay! Itchy Bond, see? Itchy Bond. Now before I go, before I let you go, there is there was a blogger who wanted me to give them a shout out, and because of my inability to remember, I think it's Fem Family or something like that. But I'm gonna see if I can find them because no wait, maybe I'll give them a shout out by writing their name uh, uh, on the screen. But it's Fem Family or something like that. Well, but anyway, you know who you are. And here's your name right here, right there, put it right there. I'll give you a shout out. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being a part of Filipino, Gerard Black in the Philippines with the truth. And I will always love you more. Okay, so remember, dreams are nothing more than plans awaiting action. Never disrespect the elderly, always pull someone up. And sometimes, you're the only one to see your vision. And the best revenge of life is to live good. I'm living good today, and I hope you are too. If you're lucky enough to have a woman like Ali Woodson, formerly singer of the Temptations One Song, treat her like a lady. And ladies, if you're lucky enough to have a good man like me, make him feel like a king. Okay? And with that, now, this. Don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell, share, post, and like. Okay? This is one of my interviews I think you're going to like. I'll always love you more. Peace.
It started, you know what I mean? I got fired, dog. You know what I mean? I spit fast, you know. It'll burn you. It's torture if you really want to go up against it. You know what I'm saying? So fire is just saying like it's hot, and we gonna keep it hot.
Who do you see someone? Who do you listen to? Number one, and how we doing on time? How many minutes on it?
11.
Oh, okay, all right. Who are some of your mentors? Who are some of the music you listen to, and who are some up and coming artists that you feel who we should look out for in coming up or something?
Well, first of all, you know what I mean. I'm an old school head, you know. I kick it off my mama's music. I'm on that Marvin Gaye. I'm on the Temptations, you know. I'm on that genre of music, you know, Rick James and you know all that dramatics. You know, that's what I ride to when I'm riding. So, you know, I listen to a lot of gospel when I ride. You know what I mean? I don't just listen to rap music, but when I do listen, you know, I'm a pop biggie. I like that classic. Ice Cube is the truth. You feel me? I go back in the days where LL Cool J used to be my favorite rapper. But back in Run DMC, I used to write their raps down on paper just to memorize them. You know what I'm saying? So I've been through damn near every fad of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a fan of music. I'm a fan of the game.
Okay. On that note, how do you see how hip hop has changed to where it's hip hop and how it's being marketed today? I was speaking to a club over out Long Island because oftentimes I try to bring a venue, and the first thing they say is, "No, we don't want you because I'm black," and all that thing. I'm hip hop, we're gonna tear up your whole neighborhood or something like this. And I asked him, and he said the reason being is because he said it's hip hop. He said hip hop is about love. He said gangster rap markets violence, and when you market violence, he said no club owner wants to have that. I mean, is that a true analogy? Thinking that today's hip hop is not about hip hop love and violence. I mean, love was when you first started, but do you think it's more catered to what that club owner had marketing violence?
No, I think it's catered to, the marketing is catered to what people want to hear. I don't think it's a balance in it, you know what I mean? You can't have good without the bad. So, you know what I'm saying? So, gangster rap is cool, but take Bone Thugs and Harmony, for instance. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we're going to tell you about the streets. We from that. Right. But at the same time, we're going to give you a message. So, if you mix the message with a little street and you leave a person with something to grow on, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if you just concentrating on murder, kill, and I smack your kids and all this old wild stuff, then, of course, you're going to scare anybody. Like the genre of 96 and 97 when Pop was alive, man, it was like, dude, you got all the power in the world. You know, at that time, you went to a Source Awards or something like that. damn near wanted to take a pistol with you because that's all they was on, you know what I'm saying? But I do feel like it's becoming more of a balance now because artists like T.I., you know what I mean? I really dig him, you know, Young Jeezy out in the South doing their thing, you know what I mean? Like, I believe we going in the right direction, but it's a time and place for everything. It all goes in a circle, like, okay, gangster rap winning, you know what I'm saying? But bam, that put that on pause when Kanye West came out with Jesus Walks, you know what I'm saying?
True, yeah, they're blowing away.
It just need to be a more balance as far as the radio and what they letting in because they dictating, you know, what the audience is listening to, you know. I wish radio was like it used to be when it was like a wide variety of everything, and you really only got gangster rap on Saturday nights or something.
Okay.
You know?
Okay, so what about responsibility? I mean, you know, is there a responsibility you think to, or who does responsibility fall on? Does it fall on the artist and his lyrics to be responsible, or you feel that again it's what the market caters for?
It falls on everybody.
Okay.
It falls on radio. The artist first because the artist, you know, is the creator. You know what I mean? But it falls on radio, you know, not to just be on one type of music. So, you know what I mean? It falls on management. It falls on the individual that's buying the music. You gotta be responsible enough just because dude said he had a gun and shot somebody, you stupid enough to go, you know, jump off the bridge too.
Sure.
So the responsibility is with everybody until everybody own up. We're gonna have an imbalanced world. So, you know, everybody man up a little bit, you know, handle your business, stay out the next person's business, and you know, we might have a little time left on this little planet, you know?
Okay, before we go, what advice would you give someone breaking into the business now? You know, what do you know now that you wish you would have known then, you should have better prepare you for what you're dealing with today? You see what I'm saying, after you being in the business for so long?
I think the one thing that created our longevity is we stayed true to ourselves. So that's the first thing, you know, don't let nobody tell you how you feel in your heart about what you need to be writing or none of that. You just got to be creative and do that. So staying true to yourself is the main objective. And then also, on the flip coin of that is you got to know your business. You got to get educated, you know what I mean? Third grade dropout, you try to run a business, that don't work. You can have all the street savvy in the world, but you need different credentials behind. You need to read, you need to, you know, you need to be educated. So education is the whole thing. As long as you know, you can't get played.
Right. You know, I was going to ask you about a quote, but then if I want to know your quote, I think I can turn to the magazine because I think the last quote you put in here was, let me see my glasses. I quoted you and saying that, that's Spanish, so I have to read Spanish. But it says, don't ever do this shit if you don't love music. Don't do this shit because you think you gotta get a Bentley or a watch or have a nice house and all that. Do it because you love music first and everything else. And everything else will fall into place. So that's the same quote that would hold today, wouldn't it?
I stand right beside that.
True that, my
You
brother.
know, I run a marathon with it, man.
True that, my brother. Layzie,
Before I go,
sure.
can I send out some love?
I love you to self-love, and if you have it in you, of course, to spit a little. I mean, I don't want to put you on the spot because you're the man. You know, that's on you. So, okay, before I go off, this is Gerard, your host. The dream's nothing more than plans awaiting action. Remember, never disrespect the elder, always pulls on up. And sometimes you're the only one who can see your vision. Layzie, it's on you, baby.
All right, so you know we got more thugs coming up. You know what I'm saying? So in addition to the Bone Thugs and Harmony project, September 19th, go pick that up. You know what I'm saying? Independent, our last one for a minute. You know what I'm saying? So go get that. I also got 2 solo underground albums coming out. You know what I mean? One single is "Vote for Me," because you should vote for me. I might run for president. And the other one is Lockdown Love, a dedication for Flesh and Bone, which will be home in 2008. We got Thin C album coming, you know, production, he produced and all that, produce, sing, rap, the whole 9, play the drums, do super talented. We got Felicia's album coming, it's called Here I Come. You know what I mean? I got my kids' album coming. My oldest son is 14 years old, he a beast. You know what I'm saying? I got my daughters 16 and 17 and 14, and they sing and rap and, you know, look just like me, you know what I'm saying? So, man, we just got a lot of things. Ken Dog, Immortal Thugs, all these groups will be coming within the next 18 months after Bone Thugs and Harmony drop. So be on the lookout.
Remember the names. Remember the names.
Yeah, so Mo Thug Family, that's what you need to remember. Y'all gonna see the family, we coming. You know, and the DVDs we about to drop. Look out for the mixtape. We flooding the market all over. You know what I mean? And I just want to say God bless everybody. Y'all know. Thanks for the support. 13 years. Can't do it without you. Appreciate the pepper. And
It's on you.
hey, I'm 31 years old. You don't need the CID. You can pick up the book S.G.I.B. Hey. The label the minutes and put it in Guinness. You better go check my manuscript. Killer for real, a drug dealer. Hey. Oh, I ain't about to say I'm...
That's money, y'all. That's money. Layzie ball. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right, thanks. And I want to thank our camera person, Alizé, and pan the camera around because there's other people who are in here want to give them some love and support.
See Mo Thug family. We love y'all.
Okay, we have conscious people here. Watch the glare.
Koch Records.
All right, with that, we're out. Okay, peace. All right.
Okay, before I let you go, I need to add a couple of things to this video. Number one, I started this video by going through the vocabulary that I use. And so I wanted to go a little more detail about what the definition says. This is the urban expression or use of the word peaches or peach, used to describe either a vagina or a butt. Damn, she's got a good peach. Get that peach. Okay, so that's peach. Peach is a round, fleshy orange peach. It is mainly used to represent a butt in a digital communication, and so it is more commonly called a butt emoji. So the emoji is a peach. Okay, so remember we're talking about, instead of using the word bitches, peaches, get that peach. You go, hey, peach. Look at that ugly peach. Oh, peaches, you're beautiful. Oh, I love you, peaches. Okay? Now, peaches are more associated with the vagina and butt. Okay, we've already been through that in the emoji. Okay, now let's move on to the word nigger, because I told you about the use of the word nigger and switching it to triggers. How triggers would be more in line of what it is the use for. You could be a rude and unruly person if you want to be that, or you can be known as a trigger. Urban definition is used to define a slang and a term, and it proceeds to define triggered as when someone gets offended or gets their feelings hurt. Often used, it means to describe people with strong victimization. Okay, not so much unruly, but anyway, let's look on something else. Okay, a trigger is a small device that's released to spring or catch to set off a mechanism, especially in order to fire a gun. He pulled the trigger of that shotgun. So those are just some other definitions that I wanted to give you about just on those two words alone, bitches and niggers. So I want to make that clear why I think those two words should be switched around for those two words. Now, something else. One of my on one of my YouTube comments were about just hold it a minute. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I had to look for it. But what he sent me was an interesting law or something that's being passed or enforced here in the Philippines, and he wanted me to pass it on to you. And it's called the 11313 Republic Act. Okay, it's considered the Safe Space Act. Okay, what does the Safe Space Act cover? The law covers all forms of gender-based sexual harassment committed in public space educational or training institution, workplace, as well as online space. So it's an act that's being passed that whereas that you can be held accountable for just that. It covers an unwanted, covers all forms of gender-based sexual harassment. Now you see, now that's an important part in there because I don't know how many of you go around harassing people, harassing girls or girls harassing guys, but I know for me that I think it's a good law. You know, I think it is a good um, uh, um, a good law or a good a good law, I guess, to keep in mind that they're enforcing. See, the Philippines is different. It's not like any place else, you know, like United States or whatever, where you probably get away with harassment or something like this and have to sue or something like this. But here in the Philippines, baby, they don't sue. They lock your ass up in jail. So keep that in mind the next time you're somewhere and you want to grab someone and hold them and don't want to let them go, even if it's in a form of a conversation or whatever. So, and or the next time you feel like harassing somebody in Facebook or Messenger or email, or however it is that you that deem the need that you want to throw up on somebody for what they said or something like that. I know I've learned that you never say nothing to nobody that they will have a hard time forgetting that you said it. So with that being said, in fact, on my phone, I still have a text message from someone, it's been over a year now, maybe 2 years now, who she said some horrible things to me. But she said it in Bisaya, in that language. So whenever I try to find someone to translate it, when they start reading it, they say, "Oh, Gerard, I'm not translating this." So remember, harassment can also take the place of online. With that, here is your moment of Zen. I'll talk to you later. It looks like I'm not the only one waiting for the bones from this barbecue spare ribs. The makings of barbecue spare ribs. They look so delicious, don't you agree?